grid after his technical issues yesterday. Green flag waves. 5 3/4 minutes of action in round 2 of the Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge by Yokohama across the line at Sebring. Estep down to the inside, got a stunning restart, and there's no way you can defend against that unless you do the old over and under. And De Angelis has played a blinder there, but can't get the overlap, and will cede the lead to the Hertz car. And look at Robichon, third position in that brightly coloured yellow Mark Motors machine. The top 3 have made a little bit of a break for freedom from Will Hardiman, who didn't get a good restart, but didn't get as good as the 3 ahead of him. But mind, he's thrown a huge gap back to Maxwell Root, who's really embroiled in a battle behind those leading 4. And side by side for 5th position as they come down towards the hairpin this time. Can Root hang on to it? No, I don't think he has. I think that was Nelson Mason that went through. I just saw the roof of his Porsche, and I've got a feeling that he's made up a position there.
What a brilliant restart for the youngster. 18-year-old from San Antonio, Texas. That's Trenton Estep. Cut his racing teeth north of the border after karting in F1600. Raced for JDX Racing last season. Had a couple of wins last year, including the final race of the season. That is, David de Kolkman has a rubbing tyre apparently on car number 71, having gone all the way from the back of the field into the 8th position. Yeah, what a move by Estep, in the lead of the race now, ahead of Robin De Angelis. Zach Robichon hanging on there in 3rd position, and also not far behind him is that number 19 car. Will Hardman's made a good restart. It was
Ricchetti that had gone through into 5th position. The Park Place Porsche, distinctively coloured, very similar to the car, the livery that runs in the IMSA series. But that car is wounded as there's 1, 2, 3 wide coming down the Ullman Straight, battling for 5th position. Ricchetti on driver's left, 35 on the other side of the road is Nelson Mason, and he is trying to make the move as De Angelis will come round to lead. White flag this time around with 3 minutes and 33 seconds on the clock. I thought we might have got another lap after this one. This battle for 5th position, again 3 cars disputing it. The other car in there is Marco Cironi, the leader in the Masters category,
who's been on the podium overall before here at Sebring.
He loves this place.
Yes.
Really does. Great move by Nelson Mason, and he has taken that 5th position. What a battle that is. Behind Mason, it's Remo Ricchetti. So they've traded places. The 77 is in there as well, Patrick Dussault. And these are all battling for positions.
So we didn't see what happened to Max Root, did we, on that lap?
No, he down into the hairpin.
Yeah, sector 1 somewhere.
It was down into the hairpin on the restart that Maxwell Root lost all of his momentum. Big slide from the leader coming out of turn number 10, and all of a sudden Roman De Angelis is enthused. His interest is piqued. He's down to just about a Porsche 911's length behind the leader with half a lap to go. Robichon is not in the fight this time around. Not even Zachary Robichon can come from that far back.
Not sure why we went white flag this time around. I thought there'd been time for one more lap, but...
And I'm just hearing from race control that the white flag went out too early. And it will come out again this time around. I did think that at the time. So race control telling everyone, expect to see the white flag this time around.
Hopefully all the radios work in the car, and you get that message.
So that gives another, so 2 little bits of encouragement for Roman De Angelis. Number 1, he's now right up the tailpipes of the leader Trenton Estep. White flag will be shown again this time around. There is 1 lap to go. The white flag is out, and Trenton Estep will be going, wasn't that last time? I've got to do it all again. So Robichon has a chance. Round the outside, here comes De Angelis, right round the outside. Big defensive manoeuvre to the left-hand side by Trenton Estep, and they'll be side by side. The number 1 car runs the right-hand side. Yokohama's into the dirt. Can't get the grip to turn 3, Christensen's corner.
Really defending, isn't it, Trenton Estep? Just drives to the inside.
That was a really, really interesting move.
That's fine, because it's not a reactive maneuver.
I agree. I think it was he was taking a chance there because you have to scrub off so much speed taking that line and into the hairpin at 7. He's doing exactly the same thing.
Yeah, and what he can't do there, having defended the inside line, he can't move back across to take the racing line, so that'll compromise his exit a little bit. Will that give Roman De Angelis an opportunity to go in towards turn 13?
I'll tell you who's benefiting from this, and that's Zachary Robichon. He has closed in. I don't think he's still quite close enough. Turn 16 on the brakes was where he was brilliant in the first race. He's going to be there. It's going to be the top 3 together. And Will Hardiman is not that far. If there's a schmozzle here and anyone can't finish, Will Hardiman could be on the podium, and he knows that. The Texan is closing up as well. 1, 2, 3 Porsches with half a lap to go now in the second round of the Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge by Yokohama, and the podium positions are not set in stone.
Formula Ford tactics here from Trenton Estep. He's got the pace there through the kink, leading into his final sequence of corners.
Oh, he's really defensive though, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Coming through into the S's, and he's got to get a good run down the inside. That is the Robichon move by De Angelis, but he couldn't make it stick. But here comes Robichon. He's had the clear run through turn 16. He's got the momentum, and he's getting a double draft down the Ullman straight. The leader is on the right-hand side. They fan out 1, 2, 3 wide for a moment. Now Robichon's going to try and cut back around the outside. Robichon's in with a chance here if these two touch, and they have touched, and Robichon's going to go through. Robichon's going to go through and win it. Hardiman will be second, and Nelson Mason's going to be on the podium. Big swerve towards the line by Robichon, but it was after the checkered flag, and Zach Robichon plays a blinder. 2 races in a row, put himself in the position, and it's a delightful double for Zachary Robichon for Mark Motors, and the Canadians win here at Sebring. Extraordinary finish to the race. Victor Gomez will take the Gold Cup Classic category from Egidio Perfetti, who came through, and Rob Ferriol in 3rd place there. And in the Masters, Marco Cironi was just 1 step away from the podium overall in the Canadian Cup. And Charlie Luck will take the Masters category in the US Series. Brilliant driving, and well done to Victor Gomez, but my goodness me, Zachary Robichon, he could see that coming, Jeremy. He closed in, and De Angelis is not finished.
I feel sorry for De Angelis there, because he was going around the outside.
He did nothing wrong.
No, and I wonder whether Estep's going to get a penalty here. He came across the line in 5th position, but he was the guy who made contact with the number 1 car of De Angelis. You know, it's hard racing is what it was. Was it a racing instance? Is there any? Is there any? Yeah, look at how distraught he is, Roman De Angelis. He knows. You know, he led the vast majority of the race, and he was going around the outside. A really brave move around the outside, and it looked like he had position there on Trenton Estep, but there was contact between the two. Let's have a look at the replay.
I mean, it wasn't over, Jeremy. It was going to be a sprint to the line. He gets the overlap on turn-in. He's fine there. He's left enough room in the inside.
Yes.
But Estep...
There's the contact.
Was the contact, or did Estep just lose it on the bump?
Well, yes, Trenton Estep did lose it on the bump, but he then contacted Roman De Angelis.
Bit of swerving towards the line by Zachary Robichon, but I think he was far enough ahead not to impede Will Hardiman. And a very upset Roman De Angelis. Young man needs to take a breath. He's on the infield now. He's fine. His car's got a little bit of damage.
He's got red hair already, and there's flames coming out of his ears right now as well, because he reckons he was wronged there by Trenton Estep. The 2 youngsters, I mean, they're both teenagers, for goodness sake, driving these fabulous cars. It was a brilliant motor race to watch.
Absolutely. And let's make the point, Jeremy, and we don't live in race control, thank goodness. We don't have to make these decisions. Let's make the point, though, even the slightest, a slight mark just behind the front wheel on the number 3 GTX racing car, and it doesn't take much in any corner, but particularly not at 17.
Correct.
You are totally committed. The cars are on a knife edge in terms of handling and adhesion, and the slightest bit of contact unsettles the car, and that's all it took. You saw, you know, Estep's car went around. It wasn't even as if De Angelis' car went around, it just knocked him off the line, and at that point there's no margin for error. He's completely committed.
Look, you're absolutely committed. Commitment is all about turn 17, turn 1 here. He was absolutely committed. It's so bumpy there. The car's always on edge in any case, particularly with the bumpy concrete there, so the cars are literally hopping from bump to bump to bump, and when you get a tap as well, you've got no hope of maintaining control of that car, and that is what sent young Roman De Angelis into the tyres and also sent Estep spinning. But what a great drive by Zachary Robichon. He opportunities, a brilliant drive yesterday also to get second place.
American Series in second place overall. Well done to him.
So that's a win.
That's a win for him. Victor Gomez wins the gold class.